And welcome to Profile Pod TV on the Social Nostra Network. I'm your host, DoubleAA, and I'm excited to be here. This is a very special occasion, very special episode tonight. Not only because of our awesome guest, but this is a milestone tonight because AA and Profile Pod TV is now part of the Social Nostra Network, and this is the debut episode of on the new network, Social Nostra. So we're really excited about this. This is going to be awesome, a very fruitful, very prosperous partnership. So I am like ecstatic right now. I'm speechless right now. I can't even think straight. I can't speak properly. So this is what a monumental time for me, and so I'm really proud of this moment. Very proud of coming on the platform. I'm humbled, and anytime someone recognizes you, for your content and your abilities, it's a very humbling and amazing feeling, and I can't tell you what this means to me. So I'm really, I can go on forever. So, but yes, this is the debut episode. I'm very excited, and this is, like I said, man, I can't even tell you in words what this means. So, with that being said, and real quick, special shout out to Kevin Perkins of Social Nostra Network. Thank you so much, my man. Like I said, man, I can't say enough about this opportunity. So thank you out there. So I'm looking forward to many, many episodes here on the Social Nostra Network, and I'm happy to join all the other podcasters. I think there's 7 or 8 other podcasts now on the network. So really exciting stuff. Before we get to our guests, of the evening, here with AA on Profile Pod TV. I want to get a real quick shout out, man. A nice lady, just to prove that there's nice people still around in this world. The other night I'm at the store. I'm at Sprouts, and I go to reach for my wallet. Believe it or not, I thought I had my wallet in my pocket. I reached for it, and I realized I didn't have it because there was something else in there. I think I had my sunglasses or something. So I thought my wallet was in it, just subconsciously or whatever. And I go to pay for so I'm like, oh no. So I told the guy, told the clerk, that's the cashier, I said, you know what, I got to go home. I go, just hold my stuff here. I live about 5 minutes away. And then all of a sudden, a lady behind me says, you know what, I'll pay for it. Don't worry, we'll cover it. I'm like, huh? She's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry. And I was like, wow. I go, are you sure about that? And then the clerk's like, yeah, let her do a nice favor for you. Don't worry about it. Let her, she wants to do something nice for you. Let her do it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, what is your name? She's like, my name's Linda. I'm like, oh, well, thank you so much. So she paid for my groceries, like $75 worth of groceries. And just amazing. So big shout out to Linda out in Simi Valley, California. And just amazing. See, there's people out there that are still, genuine and generous and just thoughtful like that. It's just so. Anyways, just wanted to share that good feel story. If you're listening to Profile Pod TV for the first time, if you're watching for the first time, this is the podcast where I aim to inspire you through our guests. Tonight's guest is the epitome of what we want to accomplish here on Profile Pod TV and with the Social Nostra Network. We want to inspire. We want to motivate. We want to influence you. And if you happen to be someone who aspires to be an artist of some kind of model, business owner, you want to get outside of your box. You want your comfort zone. And you want to kind of do something with your life. Something different, something you've always wanted to do. Pursue other interests. This is the show for you because I'm going to motivate you and inspire you through our guests. And then tonight is, like I said, is the essence of that. So, I just want to help people and motivate and shed light on our guests as well, shine light on them and put them on a pedestal. So, because they're doing things that are extraordinary and they deserve to be recognized for that. So, like I said, man, welcome to Profile Pod TV. I realize we're probably going to be having some new viewers, some listeners through the Social Nostra Podcast Network. So welcome. So let's move on to the guest of the evening, the guest of the hour. Tonight's guest is a model. She has her own modeling agency called Platinum Peach Talent. She's a recording artist. She just told me earlier that she thinks she got a hit. She recorded a hit tonight, which is great to hear. She'll be releasing an EP in the near future. She runs a mentorship program twice a month. She runs her own dog grooming business, and she auditioned for the show Survivor. Oh, okay. Wow. Is there anything you don't do? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Profile Pod TV tonight here with DoubleAA, Peach out of Cincinnati, Ohio. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm excited to be here.
No, I'm great. I'm good. Thank you so much for taking the time here. I realize it's a little later, and you're part of the country. And thank you so much for taking the time. I know we were trying to get this going a couple days ago. I apologize, but Mother Nature had to do her thing, and we had a power outage here. But you know what? Here we are. So thank you. How's it going out in Cincinnati tonight?
It's good. It's cold. It's tired. There's nothing really exciting going on right now. It's just a regular Friday.
Just kind of a chill night, huh?
Yeah, I was at the studio earlier. Like I said, I worked all day and then went to the studio and then came home and hopped on here.
Okay. Yeah. It's so you think you got a hit on your hands, huh? Over at the studio tonight?
Yeah. I made one tonight. I think it's pretty good.
You think you dropped the jewel, as Tupac would say.
Yeah, just wait on it.
Yeah. No, I can't wait. Peach. There's so much I want to talk to you about, Peach. I don't even know where to begin. Like, you wear so many hats, you do so many things. You know what? I was thinking, let me go ahead and start with your dog grooming business. Okay, what's it called? When did you start it?
It's called Lauren's Lavish Grooming. So it's really just like my brand. I've branded myself probably about 4 years ago, and I've hopped around. I started with PetSmart as a bather 11 years ago, and I worked with about 6 different salons throughout the country, working for PetSmart, transferring around when I was in the Army. So I was able to gain a lot of experience there, and then managed for a while, and then left PetSmart in 2018 and moved back to Cincinnati, and was able to work for an amazing company called VCA Animal Hospital, and they let me run it out of there. And I run like my Facebook and advertising and all myself to get all my clients, and it's been an amazing journey. But that's my 9-to-5 job, basically.
Oh, okay. And how many employees do you have, or is it something that you run on your own by yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's just me.
Okay. And how many dogs are you grooming on the average per day?
About anywhere from 5 to 8 max usually. Yeah.
Okay. And you do all types of dogs, any type of breed, big, small, medium?
Yep, I do all kinds of breeds, and I specialize in poodles and doing like creative grooming. So like if I can dye them, I can turn them into like pandas or tigers, things like that. That's my passion in grooming, is when I get to turn them into something unique and creative.
Okay. So you kind of you get to, so that's an awesome creative that's all. I didn't realize that you can kind of be creative with their hairstyle, the way you're gonna trim, and yeah, okay. And what is your favorite breed of dog?
It's hard. I would, to groom or just in general. I don't know.
In general.
I would probably say a Doberman or a Shetland sheepdog, which are pretty different, but they're up there on my favorite.
Oh my, okay, Doberman, right?
Yeah, I had a Doberman once named Kane. Yeah, he was a pretty dope dog.
I had a Doberman back in the day, Peach. Oh my gosh, this was in the mid '80s, and his name was Duke. Yeah, those dogs are great guard dogs, man. They're very loyal. They're very protective.
Dogs.
I'm so sorry.
They're very one-person dogs.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. So you started doing this. I'm sorry. You said it back in at PetSmart.
Uh, 2010 is when I started.
Wow, wow. So that's 10. Well, going on 11 years now. Then,
Hmm.
um, and how did you like? So when you started doing it at PetSmart, did you realize right away that this is something you really enjoyed, or kind of grew on you?
I always wanted to work with animals. I grew up breeding yellow labs. I had like 5 or 6 dogs at one time, usually. I had a raccoon, I had a ferret, and I had frogs. And I was a tomboy growing up, so I wasn't always, a model per se. I was always in the dirt, running around barefoot. So, yeah, I grew up breeding yellow labs, and I was always around dogs. And I, at one point, wanted to be a vet or a whale trainer for SeaWorld. That was my dream. But I sucked at biology and the veterinary, like school part, which is not for me. So with grooming, you're able to, get a really good income as a trade. I always support trades. I was able, I was like, forget college, I can make just as much money, doing this trade. So I was very lucky to get involved in it.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, it's not definitely not cheap to get your dog groomed. It's okay. And so, and you were born and raised in Cincinnati, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And how was well, before we get into Cincinnati, let's talk a little bit more of the canines, Peach. So you like the Doberman and the sheep. I think you said sheepdog.
Hmm.
And those things are really are those the ones with the shaggy hair?
Yeah, they're like a smaller version of Lassie.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah. That's how is it? Do those types of dogs, does that breed? Does it get any particular? Well, do they get messy? Those sheepdogs when you groom them?
Yeah, they shed a lot, so they usually get a lot of hair out of them. Hmm.
Uh huh. Yeah. So it's a smaller version of Lassie. I think you said right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So in Cincinnati, you were born and raised. What are some of the some of your fond memories growing up in Cincinnati? Are you a Reds fan by any chance? Bengals?
I'm a Bengals fan. I always, I love my city. I actually spent 8 years away from it, moving around with the army, and I just moved back about 3 years ago. But I'm always a big representative of my city. I mean, that's my artist name has always been 513 Peach. So anywhere I go, I'm always repping Cincinnati. I had it's on my car or in my seats or in a username or something. I love my city, and it's definitely grown, and it continues to grow and get bigger. And we have a really great community here as well, especially
Yeah.
with artists. Oh my God, our talent here is amazing. People really sleeping on, the music artists here in Cincinnati for sure.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. It's Ohio. There's a lot of great people that come out of Ohio. A lot of talented people. Wow. Yeah. No, I've never been to Ohio. And speaking of Ohio, Peach, I had when I was in the fourth grade, I remember I had to do a state report. I think I even chose Ohio. I don't remember if it was assigned to me or if I chose it, but I remember, doing a report on the state of Ohio, the Buckeye State, and how, yeah, I remember a few things, but yeah, it was fascinating, man. I remember that, back in the day.
Yeah, people think Ohio and they think like farms, but Cincinnati's the other way down the bottom. That's our bigger city, and then Columbus and Cleveland. Otherwise, it's a bunch of cornfields. But yeah, I'm from Cincinnati. I don't really rep Ohio too much, but I'm a nasty natty 513 girl, full and through.
Oh, nice. I love it. I love it when people just, really take pride in the city that they're from. They grew up in, but yeah, I grew up out here in Southern California, and I know Ohio very well through sports. All the teams, the Browns, the Bengals once again, and when they were in the Super Bowl against the back in the day in the '80s when they played the 49ers, and the Reds, the Cincinnati Royals, the team that used to be there. So yeah,
I've always been a Bengals fan. My dad was a Bengals fan, and he always took me to the games, and or we'd go tailgating and things like that. He always buys me something Bengals for Christmas, something like it's like a hat or a shirt or something. I always get something. I don't care how bad they suck. I'm from Cincinnati, so I can't rep anywhere else, no matter how bad they're doing. So that's just how I feel about it. And
yeah.
and the same thing with the Reds too. I mean, I'm from Cincinnati, so I gotta rep them. And my dad actually proposed to his wife at a Reds game. I helped set that up for him, like on the big screen here in Cincinnati.
Oh, when was this?
About 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Wow. And they were on the jumbotron, the big screen in the stadium.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's. I remember the old stadium was called Riverfront. Now it's a different stadium, right?
Yeah, it's a different one. It's ballpark arena or something. I don't know.
Great American Ballpark or something? No, is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. Great American Ballpark.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, the Reds got a lot of history, man. A lot of great history, the Cincinnati Reds. So what are some of your plans for going back to the grooming business, Peach? What are what are your future goals for the business?
So right now, grooming is not my main focus. I've done it for 11 years, and I've just been focusing more on my other creative outlets as far as modeling and making music. I've taken grooming as far as I can go with it, essentially. So I'm just trying to find other ways to grow. That'll always be my bread and butter, is grooming. And I always enjoy doing it. But, once I've plateaued on something, I'm always trying to level up or find a new goal to reach. Essentially, that's just how I've always been, and it keeps my life exciting, essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just chasing that next dream and way to level up.
No doubt. Yeah, I can imagine you probably established a nice clientele there with your business. Yeah.
Yes,
I'm so
all my high school friends, they really tapped in with me, and I groom a lot of their dogs and their family's dogs. They all really supportive and share all of my posts and stuff. That's why I've always been very grateful for my loyal clientele.
Oh,
It
okay.
kept me afloat during quarantine. I was able to groom some dogs during quarantine too. Again, that trade, it's someone's always going to need their dog groomed. So I'm always going to have a source of income.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, now. Speaking of COVID, did that the whole thing, the last 8-9 months, did it really affect your business significantly, or how has it come around?
Yeah,
now?
my actual job was only shut down for I don't know, 2 or 3 months, I think, in the beginning, and then we were able to open back up. So thankfully, I wasn't affected too bad about it, and I was able to get unemployment, and continue to groom.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you hear stories and mom and pops and just all kinds of businesses. It's sad, it breaks my heart, but I'm glad to hear that yours you were able to kind of ride the storm a little bit. And
I'm a born hustler. I just hustled my way through it. Just it's all you can really do. And I freaked out at first. I was like, oh my God, I've never not worked. I've been working since I was 14. So it was really strange to not have to wake up and go to work each day.
Yeah, right. What was your very first job?
I was a lifeguard. I began working at 14. I was a lifeguard, and then I joined the Army.
Oh, wow. So you lifeguarded for what? 4 or 5 years? Something like that?
About 2. I was a lifeguard for 2 years.
Oh, okay. And what year did you go into the Army? Or how old were you?
2009. I joined at 17 and then left it when I was 18.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and we'll get into the Army because that's funny because I was 17 too. Did your parents have to sign for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. But I want to talk to you about Survivor.
Oh yeah.
Your experience with that. I know you auditioned back in, was it 2019?
I've just auditioned 3 years in a row now.
Okay.
And
And
yeah, I can't really speak on how the audition process has gone, but um, I, of course, the one year I made probably my best audition video I've ever made, and submitted it. They canceled all the shows and casting and stuff, so now they're really backed up on casting probably. So I don't know when the next season's gonna be. I don't know when they're gonna begin casting for it, but I submitted my video in August, and I haven't heard back yet, but I'm gonna continue to try to get on. And in the meantime, I do the live reality games through YouTube and Facebook. They're smaller versions of reality shows that we are just a community of people will put on who are fans of other reality shows, and you create a fan base through that.
oh, okay. And then so, but when was the first time what year was the first year you yeah, auditioned for Survivor?
2018 or 19. When did I leave Jeffrey? I believe that 2018 or 19. Yeah,
Okay, is that the one you posted on YouTube? Phoenix, the
that
one
was the
that's.
one I made this year.
Oh, okay, okay. And talk to us about what is the Phoenix, the nickname? Is that what your name is in the
Um,
show?
no, it was just a name that or a theme in my life at that time, basically. Just when I had left my abusive husband and was just refining who I was and what I wanted to do in life, and I just really resonated with the Phoenix metaphor of rising from your ashes and being reborn. That was just a big theme of my life at that time, and well, I mean, just continues to be a theme of my life. But even then, I was really feeling empowered by it, and I did a photo shoot about it, and I kind of like to name my years. Like one year before that was like year of the peach, and then that year for me was year of the phoenix, and that's just kind of how I keep my drive and force going.
Gotcha. Okay, now I get it. Now, but I when watching that interview or that well, I guess it was
It's audition.
the audition, the video, yeah, on YouTube. You were pretty forthright and a lot of personal stuff that you kind of divulged during the audition. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. And you seemed very comfortable and with yourself, and but was that kind of an emotional experience for you as well,
Yeah,
going through that audition?
yeah, I've always been very open about my life, whether it's good or bad. It kind of just was something that started when I moved away. I mean, I met my husband. I got married at 18 and moved away. So when I moved away, I used social media to really keep in touch with all of my family and friends, and living away from home for 8 years. So I really kind of just put everything out there instead of having to, call everybody, single person, like, hey, this is what's going on in my life right now. And people just kind of really started to follow along, and they went through all my journey with me. I had 2 miscarriages, or, I was divorcing my husband, or, and I kind of just put it all out there. So these people have really gone along with it with me.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, like I said, it was interesting to see, yeah, how forthright you were. So, but
I'm
good
not
for you. I
ashamed
mean,
of it at all. I mean, that's one thing about social media, or putting on a front for some things, but like I'm not ashamed of the trials and tribulations that I've been through, and I know a lot of people can relate with it, and I think that's why some people are drawn to me. It's just my authenticity and my forthrightness that this is what's going on, and I'm being real and trying to keep it real, and people resonate with that.
yeah, I was gonna say, Pete, your realness is awesome, and no, my hat's off to you. We need more people like you to be, real and sincere, honest and genuine, and so no, good for you, good for you. So that's your dream, though, is to be on Survivor,
Yeah,
right?
how this whole creative process really started. I mean, well, when I left my ex-husband, especially, that's when it kind of kicked it off. But And I just was like, I was going to pursue everything that I wanted to pursue. And I was a dream of mine to always be on Survivor. And so when I left him, I was like, that's what I'm going to do. And then I started paying attention to like, well, how do you get on Survivor? And I noticed that typically they have really professional pictures. So I was like, well, let me try to start modeling. And I've always wanted to model, or people told me that I should model. So I was like, well, I'll start with that. I'm going to reach my big goal by doing the, steps to getting there. And I started with modeling, but then modeling took off. And then, I opened up the teaching classes and then the agency, and so things just continue to build.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, good. That's great to hear that though. Things are just they snowballed for you. And I have a friend, he goes on this show, you may I don't even know what it's called, where they go to South America or something like that, and they have to. It's kind of like Survivor. It's a very similar concept where they're out in the middle of nowhere in the woods and the jungle, and they have to kind of stay alive, but they have to survive, right? What's that?
Is it Naked and Afraid?
That's it. Yes.
That people always ask me that, like, are you gonna do Naked and Afraid? I'm like, they don't pay enough. Like, okay, if forget for Survivor will pay me $1 million to stay out there for like 30 days. And I did a smaller version of it. I did Surviving Reelfoot. It was 7 days long. We did it in the woods. It rained for 4 days. They only gave us half a cup of rice. And I was cool. I was like, this is like, the army is way worse than this. So I just felt like, I was like, so it really just made me feel like I could do real Survivor 100% and be okay with it. And I don't know, I just feel like too, like just my whole life I've been like living Survivor at this point. Like the whole journey to getting to be on Survivor has really fulfilled my need to be on Survivor. Every step that I've taken to get there, sometimes I just feel like my life's a movie.
Yeah. Are you gonna continue to audition?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
For Survivor? Well,
yeah, and not even. I mean, other shows too, but ultimately that's the goal.
Yeah. No, I hope you hit that soon. You will. What was it? You said it was called Naked and what? Unafraid?
Afraid. That's they get out there in the woods. I think they only pay them like $2,500 or something, and it's like 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know. It's just not worth it to me.
Oh, okay. Now, yeah, that's the show. That's for I think he was in recently. I want to say Peru or Ecuador or something like that. And yeah, I see. He's married with kids, and it's interesting, that he goes down there, he participates, and anyways. But no, what so Survivor pays, you said $1 million if you win, or if you just get on the show?
If you win, yeah.
Oh.
But there's rumors that they pay otherwise for different, if you get on jury or something like that. But I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. Yeah, check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Check out Peach, official Peach 513. Check out her YouTube video, her audition for Survivor, the show, the amazing, the ever popular show. So, but yeah, Peach, what? So let's get into your so you mentioned the modeling. Obviously, it kind of it took off for you. Is this? Well, talk to us a little bit about it. How long have you been modeling now?
I've been modeling for 3 years now.
3 years, okay.
I got started. Technically, I started. I did a board war photo shoot for my ex-husband. So he was leaving for deployment to Korea, and I was gonna do a board war photo shoot and give him a book. Hopefully he wouldn't cheat on me. That was my goal. But so I gave him that, and then he cheated on me while he was in Korea. So when he got back, I decided to do a divorce photo shoot instead to help me get through that. Because that's what, honestly, that's what photography really started out for me, was just a form of therapy, and it's just a creative outlet to really express yourself. So I was gonna be like, all right, well, I'm gonna show him what he's missing out on and do some really great photos. And I submitted those photos to an agency and I got accepted and started doing classes through them. And again, kind of plateaued and decided to go off and do my own thing. So I started doing freelance and shot with like over 30 to 40 different photographers around the tri-state and just gained all of this knowledge. And a lot of girls were reaching out to me. So, how do you model? How did you get started? What do I do? And I learned a lot of hard lessons in the freelance modeling world. So, I really just wanted to help other girls navigate it the right way and try to jumpstart them and skip all the hard lessons that I learned. So, that was my goal through the mentorship program. And it's been really uplifting to really just see, all of them gain self-confidence and see what I see in them, and grow.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. You know, people think that modeling, oh, it's so easy, just taking a picture. Hey,
Yeah.
how hard can that be, right?
So
What are some of the things, Peach, that you could share? Some of the challenges, and what is it? I mean, what does it take? You know, go ahead and dispel that right now. I mean, what does it take to become a model? What are the challenges? What are some of the things that are difficult to learn? The technicalities, the nuances, all that stuff. What would you tell those people?
it's a lot. And I would just say the main things, you get what you get out of modeling what you put in. It is, you can't just show up and be pretty in front of a camera. Just because you're photogenic doesn't mean you can be a model. It's really a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of money and investment in yourself. You can't just, going to all these shoots. I buy all of my own clothes. I pay to get my hair styled. I buy all of my own makeup. I do all my own makeup. I have to travel. There's gas money involved, hotel rooms. I do get compensated for some of my photo shoots.
Let's see, we're having some technical difficulties here. You there, Peach? Oh, see if we can bring her back on here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Peach, the official Peach 513 out of Cincinnati, Ohio. We're having some technical difficulties here. We'll get her back right back on here. Let's see here. Let's see here. We're going to try to get her back on here in just a few moments. Okay, Pete, you there? All right.
Yes, sorry, I'm not sure.
Yeah, something happened. We lost it. We lost you there. It's okay. We're back with the official Peach 513 out of Cincinnati, Ohio. And we'll just we'll handle that later. No big deal. No big
Okay,
deal.
you can
Well,
cut it.
yeah, we'll edit that. No worries. So yeah, uh, so the model. So you were talking about the what it takes to become a model, all the hard work, all the you get compensated for your sometimes you get compensated for some of your shoots, the hotels and all that. Go ahead, take it from there, Peach.
Yeah, so all of those things that go involved with it, you have to take in consideration. I think anybody can essentially be a model if they learn the right ways to do it. You don't. I think people have this cookie cutter version of what they think a model should be in their heads, but that's half the fun of doing the model mentorship program is that I take everyday girls, who really don't really see themselves as models or ever really considered it or whatever, but I see that potential in them and just like really driving that into them, like, and building them up. And then they get in there and they get in front of that camera and I teach them the right ways to hold their hands in their right angles. And then they see themselves on the camera and then I love to see the progression of each class of how they get better and better, how they get more confident in themselves. And then they're on Facebook and taking all the pictures and they're just like my little children as I see them like grow. But anyways, as far as like the model goes, you have to think about your facial expressions, your jaw, if you're sticking out your jaw a certain way, where your eyes are pointed, which way your angles are, remembering being at 45-degree angle. I think girls learn really fast when they are in my class of how much actually goes into it. And at first it can be kind of overwhelming to them because they're like, oh, there's so many things to think about that you
Yeah.
never normally would think, or that it's physically demanding. You're going to be sore after a photo shoot. It's like doing yoga because you're, all these ways and using muscles that you're not used to using, so it's definitely a lot more than just taking a pretty picture.
Yeah, no doubt. No, growing up, when you're a kid, you think, oh, look at it. I mean, all they have to do is, those pretty girls, all they got to do is stand there, blah, blah, blah. I mean, little did I know. I mean, I was just a kid. But yeah, no, it's an art form for sure. It's a form of expression. I've seen, yeah, it's work.
A collaboration too. I think that's half the fun of photo shoots for me is collaborating with the photographer and like going all the way from back to the beginning stages of planning our photo shoot of like, this is my inspiration, this is your inspiration, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, and then seeing it come to life and then what the end product is. I know what all went into it, and it translates within music too. And I've really had fun with that and seeing the correlation between the two of the collaboration of all the things, the engineer, the producer, the songwriter, all the elements that go into it, that just this song that you hear on the radio.
Right, right. And who are some of your influences as a model, starting out when you were, I mean, or in general? I mean, who have been some of your inspirations as a model? Um,
It's funny was that I never was a huge like fan of any particular models. I didn't like idolize anyone. Ruby Rose, I guess, is considered a model that I really adore, I guess. I mean, I've always looked. I like her style. I love, I love Ruby Rose. But I grew up watching, America's Next Top Model too. I don't know why I've never applied for that, but so I mean, Tyra Banks obviously would be one up there too.
is that show still exist? Did they
I
bring it
don't
back?
know. It does. I'm not sure if it does. I need to apply.
Yeah, yeah, you should. Yeah, no doubt. And I remember watching that show. I don't know when it
It's
was.
a lot of
Probably.
the same type of tips and stuff. It's a very
Yeah,
watch it and you listen, you learn, you could do some stuff on there too.
exactly. I would learn a lot by what I would watch that show and be like, "Oh my gosh, this is interesting." Like you see like the behind the scenes or what it takes and what do you think? what does it take then for you, Peach, to capture that one picture? What how do you capture that? What is it? What can you tell us about that?
I love to tell stories with my pictures. I want you when with my pic, and I just love that when people it translates anything that I am trying to convey in my pictures, whether it be through my style or the location or whatever. And when people are telling me like, oh, I can see the fashion in that or the emotion or whatever behind what you were trying to do. I'm like, yes, like that's what I was trying to do. And I love that that translates. So you have to think about your body language, the location that you're in, the aesthetics to it. I think about all the small details in whether it be my nails or my makeup, down to making sure, I ask for pictures of the location before I go, so that my attire can match the environment. Um, just all those things and getting into character and really committing to it. Uh, is modeling is just one off from acting. It's like acting without words essentially. So really getting in character and committing to it is essential.
Yeah, no doubt. It's you got to convey a message.
You have to look at it and know right when you look at it, what you're trying to do. So that's what I aim to do every time.
Yeah, nonverbal skills definitely come into play here, right? The nonverbal stuff and no, it's interesting. It's interesting, ladies and gentlemen, if you get a chance, go check out official Peach 513 on Instagram. You will be able to see a lot of her work, a lot of amazing pictures. You've posed in the nude.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that too. That was something. It's taboo, but and when I first decided to do it, I was like really concerned about like what my friends and family were gonna think, or but it, it really is empowering to be able to put myself out there and to really just accept all of my flaws. That's what my body is. I don't really care what people think. I know who I am and what I'm about, and it, so nothing that anyone says about it, and really I haven't had hold a lot of negative things said about me for it, but even if it did, it wouldn't stop me. um and I love my body. I love the images that I put out there.
Yeah, no, it takes a lot of confidence to do that, no doubt. And no, yeah, you posted some amazing pictures, and I
I
think you
try
can.
to keep it classy too, just
Oh no, of course, no. I was about to say
yeah.
you have a variety of your portfolio. Is that correct terminology there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. In your portfolio, you have a variety of different styles and different types of photos and different poses and outfits yeah, no, I think that's amazing. You're very diverse and it's interesting to kind of when you look at correct me if I'm wrong, Peach, but when I look at your Instagram page and your photos and your on your feed, you can kind of see the progression from like as a model, right? You can
Yeah.
kind of see, the beginning stages and then how you kind of moved along and evolved, and so it's kind of neat to see,
Yeah, I'm glad you acknowledged that because I went through a lot of branding with certain people with my Instagram and saying I should go this way or that way with it. Or I thought about just, taking all of it down and just putting up certain ones, my best ones. But I think that's kind of just like you said, that it's really staying true to myself and really putting my whole journey out there as a model, and that I wasn't always the best one. And not that I am, but I'm always learning. But like, I think a lot of girls look up to me in that way. I'm like, oh my God, you're so great. But I was like, listen, like it took me a while to get there, like I never try to forget where I came from. And I think my Instagram does tell that journey pretty well.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I get when I see your pictures and when um, I think you're at a point now where you're super confident and you're kind of almost like you got a super handle on and a firm grasp on what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to convey, and No, it's really I get the sense that you're like you have like you know what you want, you know what direction you're going in. You got a clear vision, you know, and you're grinding, you're doing what you need to do. But it's really great to see that. It's really inspiring. Your work ethic, your drive, ambition. Where does all that come from for you, Peach? Where does that stem from? You mentioned you started working when you were 14, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but is you come from that? Is your family like that? Hardworking family? You come from a family of entrepreneurs. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I grew up. I'm my dad's only child, and I grew up with just my dad. I saw my mom like every other weekend, but my dad essentially raised me as a single dad. And he owns his own business. He rents out different apartments and things. Anytime I wanted money, he would make me go clean one of the apartments or go paint it.
Because we lost her again. Okay, Peach. Don't worry about it. You there? All right, Peach. Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
Okay.
I
No,
don't
no,
think
no.
I don't understand.
No worries. No worries. Okay. So you were okay. So you like your dad would make you go and you know if you ask for money, okay, you gotta go clean. apartments or what have you. And so, that what age was that at?
I probably was like 12 or 13. I don't know, I feel like 10 to 13 years old when I was like trying to go and start doing stuff. I mean, I went to like teen clubs or whatever when I was like 13, and you had to have like $15 to get in. That's all I remember.
Yeah, yeah. So you're okay. So you learned a work ethic early on, then.
Yeah, and I've always just been a hard worker. I've never respected like fast money type of situation or people that don't work hard for their money. So it's just been a part of me forever, as long as I can remember.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. You know what? I wish I would have learned that sooner myself. I was always playing sports, and my first job was when I was 16. I was 16 years old. I was working at a donut shop, so it was kind of fun. I got fired for giving my friends, letting my friends and brothers and eat the donuts. I was passing out donuts like they were they were free, and I was hooking everybody up, and anyways, but no, but good for you.
Value too. Yeah, that's the thing too. That's I've had to learn.
Yeah, yeah, it's important to learn that early on. I think learning that hey, if you want something in life, you got to earn it. You got to work for it. And I think that's a great lesson to be learned early on for us.
And that, not to be afraid of failure too. I think that's been a very huge success for me. It's just that I'm never afraid to try something once or to just, if I have an idea, I also started a podcast like 2 years ago, or it'd be a year ago that I released my second episode now. But I have an idea and I decide I'm going to do it. Then I get set on that until I accomplish it, essentially. And I don't really let anything hold me back, or I'm just like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. No, yeah. Good for you. Good for you. So, I'm sorry.
I'll find a way.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, out of all the things that you do, and I do want to talk about your podcast as well, Peach. But before, I want to ask you, out of all the things that you do, what is it that really? Do you have a favorite? Is there one that you're most passionate about?
I say my main focus is music right now. Um, I think it's just a cultivation of all the other things that I've done, essentially. And music has always been a part of my life in some type of way. My whole family is musically talented in some aspect or way. Um, I was the plug in high school. I made everybody's bootleg CDs. I was the one always on LimeWire downloading all the new music for everybody. Um, Watching the music videos and studying lyrics and printing all the lyrics out and memorizing them. That's actually something that's been incorporated into my Instagram. All of my captions are usually lyrics from songs that I like.
Okay.
That's something that I've done. So yeah, to see it all come together and to see my daughter running around singing my songs, and she's involved in music too, but I don't know, it's fun and I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And so, are you? I've seen some of your videos where you're performing. Out there.
Too. I love performing. That's a whole other
Right.
part of like to make the music, but then to be able to perform it is I like to do. I've done karaoke before I started making music. I was doing karaoke with my daughter, and my thing I do is I'll go to a bar by myself, like where nobody knows me, and I'll get up there and sing until I'm like comfortable enough where everyone doesn't think I suck. But the first time I ever went karaoke, the one guy stopped me and was like, "You look like a superstar," and just the way I was dressed or something. And I just never will forget that. Anytime that I go to perform or something, that random guy, Jody, he knows he is, but he was like, "You look like a superstar." And my first open mic, I walked in and everybody asked me, "Are you performing tonight? Are you performing tonight?" And I was just there by myself, so I don't know why they thought I was performing, but they all thought I did. And I really enjoyed it. The crowd was really great. And the community is so supportive, and it's such a vibe to be around all these creative people.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, I've seen those videos. You're I can tell you enjoy performing. That's great, you know. Now
I'm like,
are you what's that?
I'm trying to get better.
Yeah, no, I don't. There's no doubt in my mind you will, get to where you want to be. And now, do you rap or do you sing? Do you both? What is your
I guess both.
forte?
I love to do both. I haven't made any like essentially sing songs yet. But just I grew up on Gucci, I grew up on Jeezy and T.I. and so like
Mm,
just when I write, or that part of me is just what comes out. And so I like want to be able to express that part of me first and see where, the music kind of takes me. But I'm not letting anybody like box me in or say that I can't do this or I can't do that. I'm just gonna probably try a little bit of everything.
yeah, yeah. Good for you. Now the sky's the limit, Pete. The sky's the limit. Talk to us a little bit about your podcast. I know you did 3 episodes. It was
Four, but
four episodes.
yeah.
Speaking Your Truth, right? It was called.
Speaking Your Truth, Untold Stories of Abuse.
Right, right. And by the way, I really loved your setup you had in your studio, and that was nice. That was nice. Really nice setup.
That was Joe Strecker's studio. So he hosts podcasts here in Cincinnati. I have to plug him in. If you're looking in Cincinnati to do a podcast, he can help record it. And he helped me do it. And at this really, it was all his real nice studio. And you would pay him like monthly, and he would help you out.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, no, that was nice. So you did 4 episodes. Is there any chance that you would maybe bring the podcast back, or are you just too busy at this point in time?
It's kind of a little. It's COVID happened, but like I was already kind of thinking about stopping it, just because it took off a lot quicker than I thought it was going to take off. I think I underestimated the impact it was going to have, and I was just me running it. I mean, I had someone else kind of co-hosting with it, but I had a lot of women reaching out to me for help, and sending me like videos and pictures of their abuse. And I became like this beacon of light for everyone. And I was still kind of going through my own thing, but I was still getting my divorce.
Mm.
So it became a lot to do while I was still trying to heal as well. So I was planning on giving just like a pause on it, but now that and then COVID happened, so it kind of just it made me to give it a pause anyways. And then when I was trying to get back to it, I just realized I've really moved on from that part of my life, and I don't want to continue to give it energy. And because it just holds me back there. I've grown from it. I don't feel that way anymore. So I think having the episodes on there are still helping. I literally just sent it to a woman today that was reaching out for help and messaged me, and I gave her some numbers and resources, and she said they got some help. So it's still making a difference, and that makes me feel good.
Absolutely. Oh, that's great. That's great. But yeah, it sounded like it resonated with people, and you had an audience going, and yeah, I'm glad to hear that you've kind of moved on from that from that part of your life and stuff like that. And but good. I'm glad to hear that, like you said, somebody reached out to you. People are still reaching out to you, and you're making a difference, even though you're not actively doing the podcast, but
all the material's still on there. The Facebook page is still up too. And I think people too know that if they ever need help, they can always reach out to me too. But
yeah, no, but I mean, how do you find time to do everything? Do you kind of have a strict schedule that you stick to? Do you how does that work? How do you manage all that?
Like the biggest question that I get sometimes from people is, when do you sleep?
When do you sleep?
I feel like I've just become this master multitasker. I don't know. Or I just I like to plan things out, and I've always been a planner. So, I mean, essentially, I plan my years out or my like 6 months out. I try to keep a schedule out, and that's just how I've always lived my life. And I'm good at multitasking, but I've now hit this point where I'm like a cap. I'm not starting any more businesses. Like I'm just gonna monetize the ones that I have, and I'm really trying to, just get my brand off the ground this year. I've, organically grown everything, and I think I've taken it as far as I can take it. So I'm like really trying to put myself out there and see that I'm like a dope investment.
No doubt, no doubt. No, it's impressive, Peach. But that's what hustlers do. That's what they do. They balance. They just make it happen. And however you got to do it.
No boys or no
What's
distractions. That's been a key to my success right now is no distractions, because I've really let men get in the way of my goals before. I'm just like, not this year.
no, they're
I'm like where I want to be. All that other stuff can wait.
good for you. No, I know. Like I said, sky's the limit for you. And who are some of your greatest influences and inspirations in life in general, Peach?
Oh, that's a good question. My dad for sure. I mean, I've just seen him work so hard my entire life. A lot of my morals and who I am and how I grew up is all thanks to him. So, and I can count on him for anything if I ever need help, like with my house or anything with
Mm.
watching my daughter. Like my network and my team here is why I am where I am today. Um, all the moms that my friends' moms that have helped me with Sydney, because it's just me. My ex doesn't live here; he lives in another state. So,
I
and
see.
to do anything, I have to have a babysitter. So, thank God for my network, and I always try to shout them out.
No doubt, no doubt. It's
Falling on a budget over here, working hard, trying to make something shake.
oh, you are, Peach, and you're an inspiration. When I admire your work ethic, I admire everything that you do, and as an artist, as a creator, I admire you because it's not easy. It's just not easy being a single. I was a single parent myself, and it was it can be challenging, absolutely, and to see what the heights that you're reaching, and I know you're only scratching the surface. It's impressive. It's impressive.
I feel it. As I said, I'm real
No
close.
doubt. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So what are some of your? I mean, we've kind of touched on it already. Where do you see yourself in the short term, and then maybe 3 to 5 years? What are some of your short term and then long term goals?
My short-term goals are to really build up my modeling classes and to get my agency off the ground, get some higher paying clients, and see that I have a great roster of some beautiful models that I've hand taught, and that are reliable. So really just pouring some energy into that and building it up and hiring some people to my team. I'm really trying to build a team this year. Like this, I said, I can't do it all myself. So I'm just cultivating that, manifesting all the right people fall into place for me to really help me grow. Um, and to get on Survivor or some successful sponsorship, or get my music off the ground and have a successful EP release. I'm hoping to release on my birthday, if everything goes as planned. So
Awesome.
and then 10 years from now, I mean, I just want to be successful and my daughter to be proud of me.
No, I can't wait to see where you continue to I can't wait to see where your progress and your evolution. I'm going to continue to follow you, Peach. Where can the people follow you? Okay, tell us. Go ahead and plug where they can follow you. Where they can see
A
you.
lot of things. That's half this job is keeping up with all these platforms. It's
Yeah.
at the official Peach 513 on Instagram. 513 Peach on Clubhouse. If you're not tapped in on Clubhouse, you need to get in there before everybody else does. Facebook is at the official Peach 513. And yeah, I think, YouTube. You can find me on YouTube. You can go check out my audition videos. A couple of my songs are on there too.
Awesome. There you have it. Peach, I want to thank you so much for coming on. You are welcome back anytime. And let's do this again, okay, for part 2.
For my birthday, when my EP comes out.
When's your birthday?
May 9th.
There it is, May 9th. Oh, okay, that's my nephew's birthday. I won't forget that. We'll get you back on and then maybe promote that EP. And that's going to be, so look out for that, everyone. Look out for that. Again, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to be here. We're going to do this again. And go follow Peach, everyone. Go follow. You just heard her her usernames and her handles on all her social media pages and her social media platforms. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, Peach, thank you once again for being here. And on the debut episode of Profile Pod TV on the Social Nostra Network. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to follow us at Profile Pod TV on Instagram and Twitter. And also just now on Clubhouse, thanks to Peach. Shout out to you for inviting me on there. I'm on Clubhouse now at Profile Pod TV, so I'm excited about that. Lots of great stuff going on here already this year for me personally, and I'm going to continue to bring on amazing guests as like Peach. And next week we will be back for another artist, another musician. And so we got some great stuff coming up here. Stay tuned, everybody. Stay tuned. Don't forget to follow us on subscribe to Profile Pod TV at Profile Pod TV and at Social Nostra as well. So follow us at Social Nostra on Instagram as well. So, like I said, we're going to be lots of great content forthcoming, so stay tuned, everybody. For Peach, the official Peach 513, I'm DoubleAA, and we will be back next week, same time, same channel, now on the Social Nostra Network. So, Peach, you take care, and everybody, don't forget, always remember to take it easy.